We dated 5 days, got engaged, married 7 weeks later, 16 years and 4 kids later, we're basically still on our honeymoon, just with more laundry and fewer naps.
Welcome to the Marriage Made in Heaven, where love is real, grace is necessary, and your spouse definitely heard you. They're just ignoring you.
Every week, we serve up biblical truth, awkward confessions, and the kind of marriage advice that probably breaks some rules.
So whether you're single, married, or Googling how to survive your spouse, you're in the right place. Buckle up and let's get this party started.
Hey everyone, so we were talking about the importance of forgiveness on the last podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the importance of respect and love. The deep love, the God kind of love, the unfailing love for every moment and every situation. I want to start off this part because I'm really honing in on the importance for husbands to feel respected by their wives.
R-E-S-P-C-T.
Wives, I'm sure there's many times where your husband has a plan or a strategy or a course of action that maybe you do not agree with. Maybe you see a way better way, but believe me, you need to support your husband. It's okay to talk through the things and the issues because we all have blind spots. There have been many times where I needed that godly counsel from my wife that, everything that she could see in the family unit. You women are amazing the way that God designs your brains, where you can hear 4 different conversations at the same time and get the gist of just about every one of those conversations. Where my experience has been, I'm very much a one conversation at a time. If 3 people are talking, I hear one of them. I can focus on one. Again, that's strengths to weaknesses. The guy's ability to really hone in on one thing, very focused, laser focused, where women are able to just naturally multitask at a degree and scale, which is incredible.
Yeah, men love to compartmentalize, right? So they got to be in that one compartment, and women are in every room of the mansion at one time. And they're yelling down to the husband who's still in the dining room from the bedroom because they've already moved from the laundry room, the garage, outside, back inside, and he's still working on the same thing. And you have to, for me, slow my roll. And he's like, babe, still focused on the first thing that you brought to me, and you're on number 50. So let me take a minute. Sometimes you ask for me for 24 hours, which, wives, I had to learn, man. I hate that. I hate 24 hours. I'm like, how about 24 seconds? How about we already know the answer yesterday so we can move forward? But that doesn't respect him and his desire to lead this family well with wisdom and knowledge, and really waiting on the things of God and having a great prayer life to touch heaven and to hear from God.
If it's about what do you want for dinner tonight, that can be answered in 24 seconds.
Yep.
For sure. But anyway, diving in, we're going to look at Ephesians 5, verse 33. Ephesians 5 is an amazing chapter. We've referenced it before on the podcast. Opens up saying, be imitators of God as loving children, walk in love just as Christ loved us and gave himself for us as an offering and sacrifice to God as a sweet smelling fragrance. So we end the chapter with talking about everyone should love his wife as himself, and the wife should reverence her husband. And that's such a big key. There were many times during the early years of our marriage where I felt disrespected by conduct or actions. Again, Allie would be quick to make decisions and kind of chart her own course without consulting me or doing stuff, just because she already was so, again, we were married at 29 and 23. She was already set in her ways. She was established in her career. She was used to making decisions. And, so thankful for her and her wisdom, ability, both in skill set. I mean, a nurse, I cannot even imagine being there watching kids die in front of you, being there in the emergency situations where blood's squirting everywhere from an ATV accident, and all these things, all these stories of our early years together where she was in the ICU. Absolutely profound.
Yeah, and I think you guys, a big piece too is if you've lived on your own, so say, you move out at 18. I went to play volleyball at University of Minnesota, and we went to Japan. I was 18 years old in Japan for a preseason trip. You have to grow up kind of quick, right? And I had been on my own for 11 years before Joshua and I got married. And so I was making a lot of decisions by myself, right? Like that's kind of what you do. You're not waiting for your dad or your, I didn't really, had any other person that I had to talk to before making decisions. And I think when Joshua and I got married too, I was very set in my career, like he said, and he was just still in school and he had just been living at home as well. And he didn't have, bills to pay and mortgages and anyone to have to like talk to about things like that. And so I just kind of ran the way that I was running, right? And then I was like, all right, sweet, I got an awesome roommate. Let's do this thing. This is more fun having you here. But really being able to navigate that, I think going back, it would have been awesome to encourage him more as a leader. And instead of me just running out ahead, just stop and saying, hey, babe, what do you think?
Yes,
Hey,
absolutely.
yeah, just a simple, hey, what do you think about this? Or instead of being like, oh, this is the way I've always done it, or this is how it is, like really just saying, what do you think? Because I have to be honest, you guys, we've been married 16 amazing years. And I like told him, I'm like, babe, I'm ready for you to take over everything, right? So then you don't want to get to that place where all of a sudden you're like, okay, babe, you head up the finances, you do the investments, you do this, you do that, the books, all everything. And he's like, what? I'm like, I'm done. I'm tired. Why? Because it just leads to burnout, ladies and men. If you're trying to do it all on your own and not include your partner, especially if you have resentment. I meet so many women that, and men, honestly, in our group that have resentment that their wives don't know how to do finances or they don't know how to do, certain things. I mean, we joked last episode, like,
Or they make all the money and their wives spend all the money.
yeah, right. There's lots of memes and funny things. That's the funny thing about like social media world. There is truth behind a lot of those things, right? That people are living. But just really respecting your husband's opinion and thing. And then husbands really loving your wives well. Like, yeah, like that's funny when you say they spend all the money. If that's an issue, like there's lots of different apps, Rocket Money, YNAB, like put the woman on a budget and just say, hey, this would respect me. I work really hard for the family, but please respect me by only spending, $500 on whatever. I remember.
Yeah, give that self the opportunity to sit down together in a loving way and like calculate everything so you can see, hey, this is what we made, this is how much we're spending. What do we really need here? What adjustments can we make?
Totally. Yeah. Just, I mean, I feel like, babe, every episode we're like communication, but it's so true.
Oh, it's huge.
Just communicate well with each other.
Well, how did your parents communicate? I mean, one of the things to this too with the love and respect, sometimes we have, unfortunately wrong models of what marriage looks like. The biggest, one of the biggest pieces in our lives was, did you have as a kid a household where your parents loved each other and spoke very nicely to each other most of the time, maybe all of the time? Or was there a lot of fighting, a lot of name calling, a lot of yelling and screaming? And I think the latter is really the majority of people. That's their experience growing up. That's what they've seen of what marriage is. And a marriage made in heaven is not that. So sometimes we can find definitions easily by looking at the antithesis, the thing that is the exact opposite. And so we want to make sure and convey to you, with this respect and this loving relationship towards each other, it's a mutual respect, it's a mutual love that is given and reciprocated at all times. So our kids see that. So our kids get at the model of what a good, godly, healthy marriage looks like. Otherwise, it's not the way God intended it to be.
That's so good. And think about it. When your kids go over to their grandparents' house, so say your parents had a horrific marriage, you can break the chain off that thing.
Yeah, you can.
Right? You don't have to just say, this is the way it is because this is what wrote. No. When your kids see your grandparents go at it, not respect each other, and then see you and your husband embrace each other and love each other and say, praise Jesus, that he busted the chains of this thing, that we can love and respect each other, and we can show our kids what it is to have a marriage made in heaven because we weren't raised in that. Come on. Like, I love those stories. And we have several people that we've been able to mentor, and their parents' marriages are an absolute mess of a mess of a mess. And they have marriages made in heaven. Why? It was a decision. It was a choice. They decided to break that stronghold off of them and that crazy strife and competitiveness and, lack of divine order. And they got into the marriage made in heaven. They looked at the principles. They said, we're doing this. Like, we've seen that and we don't want anything to do with that. We don't want to touch that with 10-foot pole. here is the principles we want to live by. And I think, babe, that's why, the workbook, which we don't talk enough about, but we'll drop it in the show notes, that workbook will give you the keys and the tools biblically
Yeah.
to break off any of the things that you guys have lived under, to break off any of the strongholds of living your parents' marriage, right? You do not want to duplicate something that was hell on earth. No, thank you.
No
We
way.
want heaven on earth.
Marriage made in heaven. Absolutely. So important. Your legacy can start with you today. Your marriage can be the best it can ever be if you're intentional about doing things right. So the other thing I wanted to talk about in Ephesians 5 is the importance of husbands loving their wives in Ephesians 5, verse 28. So also the men owe it to love their wives as their own body. He who loves his wife loves himself. When you're loving your wife, when your wife feels loved and is receiving love, it just makes everything better, right? The relationship is
Yes.
good. She's feeling that support. She's feeling everything that she needs, right, husband? So we got to make sure she's getting that love. And again, wives, verse 33, you got to make sure you're respecting your husbands. So how are you showing love to your wife? Babe, what are some of the ways, to put you on the hot seat here, what are some of the ways I show you love and demonstrate love to you?
So good. So you guys, I'm like, I don't know, remember we did the love languages? We have it like for everyone. Love languages for marriage, love languages for kids. I'm like, I think we're all of them. But mine is like acts of service. Like,
Yeah, it is.
I don't need gifts. Like, it's funny. Like the anniversaries, the everything. Like, I'm like, I really don't need gifts, which I
Who knew
really,
that me cleaning the house for her would
yes,
do so
yes.
much?
Cleaning the house, organizing, like having the kids pick up after themselves, going out and like helping the kids. Even, babe, the other day, remember before camp? So our kids are in youth camp. Joshua and I'm the camp nurse. He does all the worship. I also run a business out of the house. So summers are pretty wild, right?
Yeah, they
And
are.
so even just you taking the kids out for like the last couple needs, because I had been doing camp shopping for them for a while. But we got teenage girls, so they know what they want, right? You can't just buy anything these days. It's like, I need this, and this has to have this fabric and feel this way and all the things. So I'm proud of them because I am the same way about stuff that I wear. But anyway, you taking them out, I was like, this is the greatest gift ever. They finished the camp stuff. They got great stuff. They were excited. Josh got to be a part of it, and like that really helps me. Another thing is like cooking. So I'm gonna step into a new era. I'd never like to say, oh, I can't do that, or I hate to cook, or I don't. No. You're just speaking death all over yourself. So I love when he just simply is like, hey, babe, I'm gonna do burgers on the grill. He nails it. It's easy. He likes it. Or hey, I'm gonna do a quick steak, and then he has food ready. Or just even like eggs in the morning on this protocol. Like, it's just been, again, I think just the acts of service for me personally. But you got to know your wife. So back to the love languages. There's quizzes online. If you just Googled love languages, I think his name is Gary Chapman. He's got a couple different books. There's love languages for kids, but really knowing like what they need. And honestly, husbands, ask your wife. Like, if you don't know what their love language is, or say, how can I best love you today? What would show you love today? So really simple. You guys can just simply ask them, what would show you love today, wife, right? Because maybe it's acts of service today, and then maybe it's like words of affirmation the next day. I don't know. Some of us wives were all over the place. And God bless if you had more than one kid, right? With all the hormones and all the different things that wives go through, they might be up, down, all around the town.
Absolutely.
Another way that you show me love, though, is like giving me that grace when you know I need it, right? I run pretty hard. Like I love to work. I love to work hard. I love to mom hard. Everything I do, I just do it full force. I don't like have any chill in my body, but when I do need chill. And I appreciate that because you're like, okay, mom needs a minute. We're gonna let mom just have prayer time, or mom's gonna do this. And really knowing that that's like, if you can see that in your spouse, maybe even before the spouse sees it. We've been through some hardship too, right? We've had a lot of miscarriages, and I lost a big multi-million-dollar business that I labored for 12 years. Like, knowing those times of like, okay, she needs extra love, and I need to do anything I can to really like pull them up, because you're a partnership. And I see, again, women that really are successful in their businesses and careers. It's really, they have an awesome husband being their number one fan, which, babe, you've been. Like, I put number one fan in the ring when we first got married, which he donated surfing in Santa Cruz.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose,
At the
obviously.
bottom of the sea,
Bottom of the
steamer
sea.
lane.
Steamer lane. What a great surf spot.
But no, that's huge, babe, because again, it's a component of communication and of showing each other love. Me to tell Allie, like I get home after a stressful day, hey, I need 10, 15 minutes just to go in the backyard and just stare at the trees.
Or shoot your hoops.
Or shoot the hoops. Something, knowing that at what moments you need a pause, you need a little break, you need a little moment of refreshing to just before you go right into, especially how many of you know those moments when you come home, you've had a stressful day. He thinks that's not the time to jump right into all the busyness, all the chores, the things that have to be done. The kids need this, kids need that. It's just, you got to know via communication and be comfortable with understanding and supporting when your husband or your wife, they just need a little break.
Yes.
They just need a little moment to refresh and relax so that they can be their best.
And I'll throw in the date night thing. So like the way Joshua really shows me love is like, we talked about sometimes they're going to forget date night, but when they do remember it and they're so excited to, date you, even though you're 16 years into this marriage thing, like that's really like amazing. And he opens the door for me and, always lets me pick the restaurant, which by the way, we go to the same place.
Because it's that good. It's that good.
It is that good. But honestly, it just makes it happen too, right? Because then you have to think, okay, what restaurant or what are we gonna do? Like just have it on lock. And that's made us be consistent. But like, yeah, I just love those opportunities. And, we love to travel with our kids. Like, I think that's one of the ways that you show a lot of love because I know that's not easy for you. Joshua doesn't really like change. He likes travel and he likes trips, but he also is very more scheduled. I
like to plan. I like to plan. Is it in my calendar? Is this already on the radar? And I'm growing in that area to be more flexible. But it still takes it takes a lot of work. Like I don't like surprises. I don't like being last minute switch ups. I loathe it.
And I am complete opposite. Fly by the seat of my pants. Woo, this looks fun. Let's do that. Yeah. Hey, let's cancel this. Let's stay here.
And I've always said I loathe it. So now I'm saying I love it. I'm learning to love it.
I love it. Like right now, we were supposed to pack up and leave. And I was like, I don't want to leave off-grid life on a bad note, right? I don't want to leave because we've had a lot of mishaps and pipes bursting and flooding. I don't want to leave like that, babe. Like, is there any chance? She's like, no, I want to leave today. I got all this before work. And I was just like, this was like our week of fun, like post-camp week to like really just like enjoy our children and do fun new adventures and challenges with them because we love that growth. And like, honestly, off-grid, you get a lot of that. But there are certain things that we really wanted to do with the kids that we wouldn't be able to do if we left today. And so this is why walking is so important too. I said, babe, can we just go for a walk? Let's go talk it out. While we're walking, get some fresh oxygenated blood, get some serotonin, oxytocin, all these great things that happen from exercise, move our bodies, and let's talk about it. And what did he say?
I said, yes.
Yay!
We can stay. We can stay.
And this is such a change, wives. So if you're like, oh, my husband would never do that, we would have been out the door, scheduled, like, don't speak that out, right? Just be like, he can change. We all can change. And I promise you, the next couple of days are going to be absolutely amazing with our children and all the experiences we get to do and the services that we get to stay for up here at this church, our kids being able to youth on Friday. Like, God's going to do great things. Why? Because we honor and respect each other. We love each other. We realize, hey, if this is really important to you and we're supposed to stay anyway through the next week, like, let's do this. We'll make some things happen. And I really appreciate that, babe. So you really showed me lots of love.
So my little question as we end here is, husbands, how can you love your wife better? How can you show her love? Think about that. Think about ways that maybe have been inadequacies or maybe places where you just have made mistakes in that area. How can you do it better? And wives, how can you respect your husband better? What are the ways that you can show him respect? Verbalizing it. It's definitely one of the ways. Encouraging him. Maybe it's even just saying, you know what? I want you to know I respect you. Just saying those words.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? What guy doesn't want to hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Someone to look at you in the eyes and say, I respect you. And they mean it.
So good. Leaving little love notes for each other being able to like have like an unexpected, like just love you post-it note, or I respect you, I honor you, I appreciate you text during the day. Just be like quick to drop those things and ask the Holy Spirit just for that reminder of like, hey, if my husband or wife's going through something, let me be that one that like supports them immediately with that word, deliver that word that just encourages them and shows how much you love and respect them.
There have been many days that Allie's brought a smile to my face by texting me, "You're an amazing dad and husband. You're doing an awesome job." Stuff like that. That's just little notes of encouragement.
Hey wives, a little pro tip. If you go to your memories on Facebook or Instagram, if you use that a lot for business, I have, so I do have a lot of memories on there. I'll just screenshot it and send it to him and be like, babe, you are such an incredible dad. Like, I'm so thankful that you took this moment. And that really gets you, because you're like, look at the grids. Look at the girls, how small they were. Look at this Legoland trip that I took all of them to. Look at this, little adventure that dad did, or one-to-one date that I did. And, those constant reminders are so important, wives. And it's so fun to just put a little picture behind it, because it really brings back a lot of the emotion and the experience together too. And instead of nagging wives, if they've only done this maybe one time, make that such a huge deal, right? And maybe it was just to ice cream down the street, or maybe if it was just to In-N-Out, who cares? Champion that thing like they just went on a worldwide tour together and had all the experiences of the world. Like, really, stick to the good and really highlight those points. Whatever you focus on grows, women. So if you focus on the negative and the disrespect, you're gonna have a whole lot more of that. If you focus on the respect and how you can respect them more, that's gonna grow. And I promise you, that is a key to having a marriage made in heaven.
Absolutely. Life is beautiful when you do things God's way, and you can have a marriage made in heaven when you do things God's way. We love you all. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Woo! Love and respect. Can you give us, hold on, before you quit, can you give him an R-E-S-P-C-T? Come on, singer.
What?
That song.
I'm out here at elevation with a dry throat.
Come on,
Scratchy voice.
give us one.
R-E-S-P-C-T, find out what it means to me. I told you guys that was going to be brutal. My falsetto ain't working. We'll have to do it lower. R-E-S-P-C-T, find out what it means to me.
So let's just leave it with that. You guys remember that song, and you husbands, when your wife isn't giving you that respect, just make light of it and sing that back to him, however your voice sounds, doesn't matter.
It's not working, guys, it's not working. Probably have to cut that part out.
No, keep these things.
Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that.
I want to hear that, and I think it's funny, and I think it's a
definition
tip.
of cacophony.
I think it's a tool. I think it's a tool that the husband's...
What are you calling a tool? Respect. Watch the respect.
The husbands can keep that in their back pocket. They can sing that silly falsetto like you, and the wives can snap out of it, start showing some respect.
That was not falsetto, that was squeaky.
Squeaky pants.
Squeakiness.
All right, love y'all. Have a great day.
All right, that's it for this week. If you laughed, cried, or silently judged us,
please hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss another episode, and share it with someone who might need that same reminder. You're not alone, and your marriage is worth fighting for.
We're cheering you on, praying for your journey, and grateful to be walking this out together.
See you next week, where we'll keep it real, keep it biblical, and probably overshare again.